guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm joined by my husband Matt, and we thought we would do a 10 things that Matt wishes he knew before he became a dad, because you guys seem to love the video I did recently, which was 10 things I wish I'd known before I became a mum. And I know I have dads watching, and my most ever shared video was how to be a good birth partner with him, because I think all of my pregnant followers were watching and sharing it with their spouses and stuff. So we thought we'd do a dad version.
What do you need to know?
Yeah. But he didn't want to sit here on his own, so I'm going to sit here with him, because I was like, please do this video. I think they'd really like it.
The first one is labour. You think you're going to go in there and it's going to be like a hotel maybe, and have a nice coffee and take a stroll while your wife's in labour, pushing a baby out of her, but you're not going anywhere. Just stay by her side, because your life is about to change overnight. Yeah. And it's not about you anymore. Yeah. It's still not.
When we were pregnant with our first baby, we joked that during labour there was an M&S there was a Costa there, he was going to go and get some stuff, and in the reality of it, you didn't go anywhere.
You was giving birth.
Yeah. A baby was
the one
coming.
time your wife needs you.
Yeah. So just be there.
Number 2, be prepared to fall in love. I don't think it hits home for a guy until that ball of flesh comes out of your wife. Until the baby's born, that you're actually a dad. I think up until then, some of us have pretended that you're maybe in love with this big bulge in your wife's tummy and you've bonded, etc. But your wife has already built up that relationship. But for a guy, I think that's when it hits home. It's like, wow. And obviously you're overwhelmed with love. Actually, I didn't cry a lot.
No, I think first time we were just in shock.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
We were like,
what just happened there?
That was really in there.
Can I not go to Costa Coffee?
His head was coming out, and then it just it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it was this giant baby, and we were like, how? Yeah,
that's the shock. It's like, how has this been inside you for all that time? Even though I've seen you've got this bump, and you feel your kick, and you go to the scans and stuff, but it just doesn't seem real. And then you obviously comes out screaming, full of blood, and do you know what I mean? That doesn't really matter to you. It's just like, wow, that's ours.
Yeah.
Point number 3, changing a nappy. They dwell so much on this being a big thing and a hard thing, but it's actually a really nice way of bonding with your child. Well, in the first year at least. I think after a year the novelty wears off.
Yeah,
when they're just wriggling around. But yeah, so just enjoy that, because it doesn't last forever, which everyone tells you. But the little baby staring up at you, and you create a bond with your voice. And
you never mind changing nappy.
All of our boys are mummy's boys. Which at first is quite hard, obviously, with your first to accept, but it's actually, you should give mummy her turn, because you'll get your turn to be their favourite and stuff. Not their favourite, but they're going to love you just as much.
Now Fraser's older, it is all about you.
Yeah, that's it. Well, no, not all about me.
No, but it's football,
yeah, so
daddy.
Things change, so just let mummy have her time, and just try and be around as much as you can, and you'll create a bond anyway. And it might not quite be like the mother bond to begin with, but you'll get there. Point number 5, humour. You just need to accept that everything is going to be your fault. Your kid's bad behaviour is your fault. And once you start to see the funny side and accept that you're to blame, your marriage will be fine. I think it's served a good purpose with ours, hasn't it? To just humour stuff and just to banter it rather than be offended. Because by the end of the day,
because Matt says if the kids are playing up, I have a go at him.
Yeah, she looks at me. Obviously you might do that if they've done something because of me, but generally if they're being really naughty, she vents her anger on me, the way she talks to me, not the way she talks to the children.
Because it's hard to be horrible to the kids, but it's easy to be.
Just accept it's your fault and you'll be fine. Okay, number 6, probably our biggest bit of advice, or mine, is to get a cleaner. Maybe every couple of weeks or once a week. Yeah, it can cost £20–30. We'd rather spend that on any luxuries we have, because if it makes your wife's life easier, if it makes your life easier if you're working, if you're getting home from work, I think it's money well spent. It doesn't have to be forever. It could just be for the first 6 months, the first year. Bit, or... Yeah, so that you can enjoy those moments and you're not forever tidying up.
I never forget, when I had Fraser and I was on maternity leave, and that was the only maternity leave that I had that I wasn't actually working. And I had that maternity leave.
Never talk about that, do you?
No, but Matt said to me, one day, or he was talking to someone else and he said maternity leave equals coffee. And I remember thinking, oh no, you didn't. Like, I was like so offended.
It worked though.
But
She
it
went
is
and got
hard.
herself a job.
No, but
at her
it is
channel.
hard. Like, you know now,
Yeah.
like when we have the 3 kids, like.
Oh yeah, but one is
just,
coffee.
You're not just sat around. Like, you can't get out of the house. You can't. Like, it's hard.
Yeah. Looking back, I think the newborn bit, especially with the first, is actually the easier bit of the stages. You can go out for dinner, go out for coffee. You can
They
do so
sleep a
many
lot,
things. They
like,
sleep, so when they sleep, you
yeah.
can do stuff. You're not looking after another or doing a school run. So just cherish it for what it is, because yeah, you will look back one day and actually think, oh, that was quite easy.
Yeah, when they're like 2, then you're like, oh, like
Yeah.
that was the easy bit. This
Yeah, I
is-
mean, don't get me wrong. We've had good babies, and we've not had reflux and etc. So we're talking from our, do you know what I mean, from our experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I think with the 3rd, Jackson, we were like, oh my god, it's so easy. Because not only did we know what we were doing, but we were like, oh, he sleeps. He's only literally awake for like 4
so
hours
you
a
can actually
day.
get stuff done. And,
Yeah.
But then that's why I also say the first is the hardest as well, because
Yeah.
your life changes overnight. Do you know what I mean? By number 3, you're done. Do you know what I mean? You got no hope. Number 8, I can strongly recommend using your best acting skills to convince your wife that you're okay about the lack of sex. Because men are men.
Yes.
Yeah. And obviously it's the last thing that she wants to do. So yeah, just bear with her. Awkward.
This is awkward.
Yeah.
Sometimes as a new mum as well, like, you're so knackered by the end of the day because you've been looking after someone all day, and then like someone else wants looking after, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, for God's sake.
Why don't you want to?
I want to be looked after.
Yeah. Yeah. So alright, woo her. Oh, wish you
Yes.
had told me that.
Flowers, all that stuff.
Number 9. You're part of a club now. Yeah. But no one actually cares that you're tired, especially your wife. So man up. Yeah.
Because it's your fault.
Because pretty much, yeah, it's your fault. So the tiredness,
We are more tired than you.
surprising because you go for so many coffees, you think you'd be alright. It's what we were put here to do, and that you've got to remember there's tons of people out there that would just give anything to be a dad or a parent. And I know that's no good when you're feeling really tired and like you still have your struggles, and it still is hard. It's not that it's never going to be the easiest thing you do, but just appreciate it for what it is. Number 10, and probably the best bit of advice I think, is go to the antenatal classes with your wife. You won't learn anything that you can't do online, but it's about being there for your wife, and it's about being in a room with a load of people you don't know in an awkward situation, talking about things like breastfeeding, changing nappies. But I think it's quite an important experience, and it was for us. But
Yeah.
we just did it first time
It's
round.
like we make like friends.
Yeah, and like you don't want to do it. I definitely didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be there when
But
I was
you
there.
came for like.
Yeah, I came for you. Some call it under the thumb. I call it wisdom.
You
And you'll be
came to
fine.
the hypnosis
Yeah, I
as
came
well,
for
and you
hypnosis.
even got hypnotised and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. I felt like I was giving birth.
No.
No, yeah, just go with it. Just whatever your wife wants to do, just go with it, because you don't want to give her ammunition months down the line, and when she says, "Oh, well, you should have come to this," or "I wish we'd have done that," just do what she wants, and in that way, you can't be to blame for anything. It's just awkward, isn't it? Like, but it's. And you feel like you're going to go in there and think, yeah, if I go into this, I'm going to learn a hell of a lot, and it's actually stuff that I pretty much could pick up online. But it's, yeah, you bond with another group of couples as well, and you obviously went for coffee with all the other mums. There you go, another coffee.
Is he kidding?
Yeah.
Right, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed Matt's tips. Leave a comment down below if you have anything to add, or let us know what your favourite point was, and we'll see you in our next one. Bye guys.